That game. Ugh, that game was just terrible. It was brutal. It sucked. Offense can't get the timely hits. Jake Arrieta stunk. Bullpen stunk. And Gabe Kapler once again making poor decisions in this ball game. Just you can't make this stuff up. And it's just the same thing every game, the same excuse every game. Offense can't hit with runners in scoring position. Our starting pitchers can't keep runs off the board, and our bullpen can't help but shut it down either. And Gabe Kapler using analytics way too much, and it's driving the ball game out of control. Using analytics just taking over the managing of the game. And that's what happened in today's ball game. Just Gabe Kapler's poor decisions, offense couldn't get the timely hits, and our pitching stunk. You're not going to win a ball game with all of that going wrong. Jake Arrieta was on the mound for us today. Sucked. He was garbage. And didn't really help at the start of this ball game. Bottom of the first, allows 2 runs without recording an out. We do eventually get runs on the board for him. We score 5. But then he just gives it right up in the 3rd inning. He allows the Giants to score 3 more runs. Home run and a couple hits with a couple RBIs right there. And suddenly it's 5-5. Jake Arrieta just wasn't good. He only goes 3 innings. 7 hits, 7 hits actually. My mistake. 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, home run. And with Jake Arrieta, I'm speechless right now just because how terrible that ball game is. Just speechless. Can't think of anything to say. Just Jake Arrieta, from how bad he looked, just how poor he looked. And even after the ball game, post game, Jim Salisbury was talking to him, posting on Twitter, asking him about how do you feel about starting another ball game the rest of the season. And Jake even just said, "I'll have to get back to you on that one. I have no idea." So we might have seen the last of Jake Arrieta this season. He might be shut down. So yeah, Jake Arrieta's season might be over. Just put a slight might on that, because it'll probably be a couple days before we even find out if he's going to be shut down for the rest of the season. And the rest of the pitching staff, that's no hope there either without Jake Arrieta. Even though we have Aaron Nola, he can't carry this entire ball club. He pitches every 5th day. So you're losing one of your top pitchers right there in Jake Arrieta. And if he's shut down, he's going to get surgery on his bone spur and be done the rest of the season. Just signing Jake Arrieta to that contract a couple years ago, it's coming back to haunt us badly. So after all that nonsense, it's still 5-5 at this point. The Giants do make it 6-5 on a Scooter Gennett home run. We do tie the ball game up though. But we get to the 8th inning, bottom of the 8th. Jose Alvarez is out there, 6-6, gets the first 2 outs of the inning. Then Gabe Kapler decides to pull him for Nick Pivetta. Why? Just why? What is the thought process right there? Why? Is that this analytics telling you, oh, I gotta make the pitching change right here. Oh, Nick Pivetta's better in this situation. Just why not let Alvarez finish the inning off? Because you know what happens? He allows a triple, and then get this, because this is the funny part. Will Smith, the closer for the Giants, in his first major league at bat. Want to know what he does? He gets an RBI single. Gets the winning run right there. And the Giants just tack on a few more runs right there, make it 9-6. Can't make this stuff up, and you can't write it. Oh my goodness, just thinking about it pisses me off, and also makes me laugh at the same time, because that's absolutely hilarious and sad that you allow a RBI single to a guy that's never batted in the major leagues before, because he's a closer. And it's kind of odd too that the Giants let him bat, but why not? It worked for him in that situation. So credit to the Giants. But for Nick Pivetta, no, that was absolutely embarrassing. Can't really say much for the offense either. We had our chances to score in this ballgame. Bryce Harper does come up big early in this ballgame. He gets a 2-run RBI single in the top of the 2nd inning. Cesar also gets a couple of RBIs. He gets a couple multi-hit game right there. But we do get bases loaded in the 4th inning. And we don't do anything off that. Nothing whatsoever. JT Realmuto strikes out. Scott Kingery pops up. We also get bases loaded once again in the 7th inning. What happens? RISP pops up. It's just... Do we forget how to hit with the bases loaded? Do we forget? It's just that I've seen so many times in this ballgame, even early on, just pitches right down the middle. Right down the middle. I think it was the 2nd inning, beginning in this ballgame. Reese was taking a couple pitches right down the middle. He was fouling them straight behind the plate. Just, how do you foul so many pitches off that are right down the middle? Are you not looking for that pitch right there? Or are you just trying to extend the count? It's just, I don't get it. Just our approach to the plate in general is awful. Because we value walks way too much and driving the pitch count up. Even though in a sense driving the pitch count up does make sense, but why are you valuing walks over, say, what the rest of the MLB is doing? Hitting home runs, getting people on base, getting people in scoring position, and hitting with people in scoring position. It's just, we don't seem to do those things, but the rest of the MLB, they're great at it. Reese has been terrible lately. I think he's batting under 150 since the All-Star break. He's been in a terrible slump. JT Realmuto, it's the same story over and over again. He can't hit with runners in scoring position. It feels like the only guys that can hit with runners in scoring position is Bryce Harper. And credit to the fact that he also has that dreadful average with runners off base. He can't hit with runners off base, but he's our best hitter with runners in scoring position. He's the only guy that can seem to come up clutch with those instances. Even players like Scott Kingery and Gene Segura, they can possibly do it too. But it just seems like the guys that we need, like Rhys Hoskins, who needs to drive in runs, same with JT Realmuto, they just don't do it. They don't get the job done. I don't understand it. I don't at all. And going back to the Gabe Kapler decision, the ESPN crew, Matt Vasgersian and Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod was completely going off on Gabe for that decision to bring Nick Pivetta into the ballgame. Just because why do it? Why bring him in? Just why? Just why? Why are you bringing in Nick Pivetta in that damn situation? I just don't get it. It's laughable and it's embarrassing because he allowed that hit to Will Smith. I don't know anymore. Just, I feel like it's the same damn excuse every single ball game. Every single loss, it's the same damn excuse. And when we win a ball game, we try to latch on to that little tiny bit of hope. And then they just throw it down the drain because that's what happened on Friday. When Bryce Harper hit those 2 home runs and shushed the crowd. Tried to carry on to that tiny little bit of hope that the team will possibly at least tie the series or win the series. Nope, we got a 2-hit yesterday, and we lose into this embarrassing fashion today. It's just... I'm losing words. I'm just losing my thought process with this baseball team because it's not fun to watch anymore. It's frustrating. It's eye-bleeding. I want to gouge my eyes out every time I watch this ball club. I'd rather do that than watch them at all. It's like, thank God I didn't watch the ball game yesterday because I was out with friends and stuff, just having more fun than watching the Phillies game. Because thank God I was. Because that Phillies game yesterday was a total bore. Oh, my goodness. And just for the fact that we're now in 4th place in the NL East, and the Mets are starting to get up there, because look at what they did at the trade deadline. They bring a guy like Marcus Stroman to solidify that starting rotation. They probably have one of the best starting rotations in the National League right now. DeGrom, Syndergaard, Stroman, Wheeler. They probably have one of the best. One of the best top 4, I would say. And it just seems like what they did at the trade deadline just bolstered the confidence in that ball club, and look what they're doing right now. I think before today, since they lost to Washington, they won 8 in a row before tonight's loss, and they won 15 out of their last 16. So, yeah, it's just that. No, I think right now, not 15 out of it would be 15 out of the last 17 after today's loss. But still, all that confidence is going right up there. And what did we do at the trade deadline? Yeah, we brought in Corey Dickerson and all that stuff, but Matt Vargas, and what else? What else, really? It's basically the front office is just saying, We make it. It happens if it happens. How is that going to build up any confidence with this ball club? How is it going to do that? Just find me an answer on how, if it happens, it happens. How is that going to bring any kind of confidence? It just isn't. The Mets went out and got their guy, and they are very confident that they can make a push in this because it's basically the entire National League's fault that all these teams are in this race to begin with. Teams like the Brewers, I would say it's their fault. Teams even like the Rockies, because they're underachieving. Cardinals, underachieving. It's a lot of the National League's fault that so many teams are within this wild card race because for so much of it underachieving. And I'm not going to discredit the Mets because they're playing fantastic baseball. They are. And they could probably make a run at this till the very end. And sadly, the Phillies are in this until the very end, unless, another epic collapse happens, because it's probably going to happen. We've been in this epic collapse since, August of last season? And it started once again, the end of May, beginning of June? How many series have we won since the beginning of June? Like 2? 2? It's just, you're not going to make the playoffs doing that. You're just not. And it's not fun to watch anymore. The beginning of the season was so fun to watch. It was so exciting. Couldn't wait for every 7:05 ball game. Every afternoon ball game on the weekends. Just now, it's not fun anymore. It's just praying. I'm just praying for... Not praying, actually. I just want the other sports to come back. I want the other 3 things to come. I want the Eagles to come back because they're in preseason right now. I want the Sixers back, and I want the Flyers back because I'm tired of watching this ball team. I could say every person in this city is tired of watching the Phillies right now because they're done with them. And I would say everyone can agree right now because there's no hope left. This is probably the start of the collapse right now because we're in 4th place and I don't see us getting any ground. So, what are your thoughts on this ball game? What are your thoughts going into the Cubs series? Because we have an off day tomorrow. Cubs series doesn't start till Tuesday. So what are your thoughts going into that? What are your thoughts on being in 4th place? And just what are your thoughts in general? Just on how pissed you are. So, don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to drop a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.